Jupiter is retrograde, and this means the universe is checking your shopping cart. Are you expanding because you're aligned or because you're afraid you don't have enough yet? Now, Jupiter retrograde is about recalibrating your capacity so the abundance you want doesn't drown you. Let's talk about how this actually affects you. Welcome to my channel. I'm Yolanda, and I am a Western tropical astrologer, and I've been reading charts for about 20 years. And I love helping people align with their purpose so that they can live more meaningful lives. Let's talk about Jupiter retrograde. Jupiter is retrograde roughly 30% of the time, so this isn't a rare, dramatic, oh my God, cosmic emergency. He's a social planet, not a personal one, and because of this, his retrograde hits differently to like Mercury retrograde. What he does do, though, is meaningful. Jupiter is the part of you that wants more money, more experience, more knowledge, more snacky snacks, more validation, more just one more thing before I feel satisfied. And because Jupiter is literally the planet of expansion, we don't always notice when we've crossed into too muchness. Jupiter retrograde says, okay, pause. Are you stretching in the right direction or just bloating? This is the season where we re-examine where we overcommitted, overconsumed, overpromised, or simply said yes because we didn't want to miss out. Jupiter retrograde is like asking the cosmic accountant, or like the cosmic accountant asking, why are you spending your time there? Why are you spending your energy here? And do you even have the capacity to do more, to take on this extra thing, to add more? Capacity is everything. Think of yourself like a vessel. You receive and you pour out. And if you're unconscious, you take in a lot of drama and dogma and doom scrolling and cold pizza. And if you're conscious, you take in vitality and meaning, and you feel more aligned, more nourished. And nourishment sometimes looks like broccoli. So capacity is emotional access, energy access. And some people genuinely have less physical and emotional bandwidth. And Jupiter doesn't shame that. But Jupiter says, if you're blessed with lots, you're responsible for blessing others. That's why in the Tarot, he's the Hierophant, the Pope. He holds the keys. He distributes divine resources. So when Jupiter appears to move backwards through the sky, he's asking, what are you actually doing with your gifts, your resources, your reach, your education, your privileges? This retrograde is where you get honest. What are you hoarding? What are you wasting? What are you ready to expand into consciously, not compulsively? Where are you ready to expand in a conscious manner? And yes, sometimes this is literal body expansion too. I mean, Jupiter is currently sitting on my natal sun, and I've gained 6 pounds in 1 month. I'm eating way more vegetables, oddly enough, but I'm still gaining weight. Because Jupiter works this way, he expands our inner and our outer reality. In our inner reality, he usually expands us also spiritually. In our outer reality, it sometimes looks like an expansion of our waistline. So anyway, if you're a Cancer sun, moon, or rising, drop a comment because I want to know how Jupiter has been stretching you. And finally, Jupiter's not only expansion. He is also entanglement with the social or with the society that we live in. He connects our purpose with the collective. So where is Jupiter retrograde in your chart? I want you to be looking at the Cancer section of your chart because there's a lot of pruning going on there, a lot of refining. It's not just about bloating your calendar, it's about refinement. And I want you to learn to work with Jupiter consciously and not to be passively reacting to it, which is why I created a guidebook for you. I'm going to leave a link to this guide if you want to know more on how to work with Jupiter in a conscious manner. So go grab your copy. Okay, let's look at each sign by sun and rising and see where Jupiter's asking for adjustments and where new blessings are about to spill in. Okay, so this is the chart for the moment Jupiter stations retrograde, November 11th at 8:41 a.m. here in the Pacific Northwest. And the thing I want you to take note of is, and this applies to all signs, of course, is that Jupiter is going to be in a trine, in a harmonious aspect to Saturn in Pisces. And Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. So Saturn is assisting Jupiter here. This is an aspect that aligns vision with reality and encourages and helps or assists us in turning vision into reality through discipline, through hard work and through discipline. But because Jupiter is also in Cancer, the sign of the family and the home, and Pisces is a sign of spirituality, but also with our lineage, ancestors, there are all these extra blessings flowing in in those realms and from those realms. So your ancestors are assisting you at this time, and also people in your home, people you're sharing space with, are also blessing you at this time. There's spiritual growth for all signs, and with the retrograde motion, it's literally about blessings coming back and literally through time. So it's almost karmic. You're earning karmic rewards at this time. So this applies to all signs. But anyway, let's start with Aries and Aries sun and rising. Okay, so Aries sun and rising. Jupiter is in your fourth house, okay, fourth house of home and family and the father, roots, legacy, and trine Saturn in Pisces, which is the 12th house. So certainly Jupiter has been saying, okay, you've taken on more. There's more going on in your home front. So you've added more stuff on the home front. Now, this could look like hoarding. It could be a hoarding situation where there's just too much stuff. And now Saturn is going to assist you because he's in the 12th house, which is a very psychological house. It's all about about the unconscious mind, about stuff that is hidden and repressed, right? So you may want to be looking at how much you've been hoarding over the last few months, especially since June, which is when Jupiter entered Cancer. You want to be looking at what was added into your life. And you will also want to consider what was going on in August of this year, because Jupiter is going to retrograde all the way to 15 degrees of Cancer, and 15 degrees is going to station at 15 degrees of Cancer on the 2nd of March 2026. So you want to look at what was going on around August of this year when Jupiter was at 15 degrees. And again, look at how perhaps you were bloating, taking on too much, hoarding in a sense on the home front. And now it's time to let go of some stuff, right? Or it could be that Jupiter wants you to consider whatever was coming up at that time in August. So maybe you thought of you considered getting a roommate around that time and you did not get a roommate. Well, now is the time to revisit that. Maybe you want a roommate. Maybe you want to rent out your property. Maybe a parent wants to come stay with you. Something like that. Maybe you want to add someone bring someone else into your space. And so that comes up now for review. All right, so see what's going on that side. Certainly something to do that's linked to what was going on in August of this year. And Saturn is giving you the discipline here, the ability to achieve this goal, this vision. So if you are aware that you've been hoarding and you want to clean up stuff, you want to let go of stuff, then Saturn is certainly going to help you do this. It's hard work, but you're going to be able to do it. And if you want to bring someone new at this time because you've been considering, you want to perhaps have a roommate, or you want to share space, then Saturn will also make that easier. He will help you do whatever you need to do at this time to get someone else into your home. All right, Aries, Taurus, Sun and Rising. So Jupiter's in your third house and trine Saturn in your 11th house. And the third house has to do with siblings, with uncles and aunts and cousins, and with your immediate neighborhood, with how you communicate. So it could be anything to do with like a writing project, for example, or with a public speaking idea you have, or perhaps you want to start doing something to do with public speaking, or you've been considering it. This all links with whatever was going on around August of this year, because Jupiter is going to retrograde all the way to 15 degrees of Cancer, which is when Jupiter stations direct on March the 2nd, 2026, is going to station direct at 15 degrees. So think back to whatever was going on, whatever you were considering adding into your life in August. Perhaps now you're going to review it, revise it, and think, okay, now's the time to do this. And again, it could be something to do with public speaking, showcasing your skills somehow. It could be writing, right? It could also be a community-based project. It could be social media. It could be starting a YouTube channel. Again, because the 11th house is here, it could be something to do with the internet, live streaming, YouTube channel, Substack, whatever it is. So Jupiter is going to ask you to revisit this idea, this project, perhaps, maybe restart it, look at it again if you started but stopped it, kind of thing, or you can just consider launching it. Again, I would advise you to have your chart read so you can get a favorable timing for this. But anyway, Jupiter and Saturn are certainly blessing you in connecting with the public, getting a greater audience, more eyes on your work at this time. Taurus, Sun and Rising. If you're not involved in that, if you're not, trying to reach more people, you're not interested in social media, or you're not speaking publicly, etc., this could be something to do with siblings, cousins, aunts and uncles. Whatever was going on in August of this year, that's going to continue, or it's going to need your attention. It could be, again, remember that Jupiter is about capacity. Do you have the capacity to take on more stuff regarding a sibling, cousins, uncles, aunts? Okay. If this resonates with you, Taurus, Sun and Rising, please do like, subscribe and leave a comment. Gemini, Sun and Rising. So Jupiter is in your second house of earnings, earned income, and also self-worth. And is trine Saturn in your 10th house of career. So this is really positive for money that was perhaps due to you is now coming through. But also Saturn is making a career. Saturn and Jupiter together are helping you realize a career ambition or goal through hard work and discipline. Your hard work, your discipline is being recognized by your bosses, by your superiors, so to speak, by bosses. And you are going to possibly be promoted during this time from now until the 2nd of March 2026. Promotion, a bonus is likely. You're certainly going to be recognized for your efforts on the career front, Gemini, Sun, and Rising. And I love that. What else is there? Your self-worth, your sense of worth is being, you are working on it. You are putting discipline into this. You being, how can I put this? You're being proactive about becoming more loving towards yourself, showing more compassion towards yourself. You're learning, you're growing, right, in self-belief and in confidence. I love that for you, Gemini, Sun and Rising. Please leave a comment if this resonates with you, like and subscribe. Cancer, Sun and Rising. Okay, so you are the blessed one at this time. However, I do want to remind you that just because Jupiter is cruising through a sign, so for example, Jupiter in Cancer, it doesn't mean that every Cancerian is well aware of all the blessings streaming down upon them at this time. I encourage you to go look or watch my day versus night charts video. I will put a link to that video at the end of this one. But certainly go check that out, because again, depending on the time of day that you're born, not every benefic is going to be as benefic as you would expect them to be. But anyway, regardless, Jupiter still blesses you, Cancer. You are still receiving blessings. You may not be very well aware of them at this time, but certainly you are being blessed. You are definitely growing. If you're not aware of how you're growing, Jupiter will certainly let you know now while he retrogrades. Most of us, I'm a Cancerian Sun, am deeply aware, profoundly aware of how I have grown and expanded in a spiritual sense the last few months. You want to think back as well, Cancer, to around August of this year, whatever was going on around August, because Jupiter is going to go backtracking all the way to the 15 degrees of Cancer when he stations retrograde there on March 2nd, 2026. So whatever was going on in August may be revisited during his retrograde time. And Jupiter is trying Saturn, in Pisces, in your 9th house. So really, publishing dreams are coming true at this time. You may want to travel overseas. Long journeys are manifesting for you over the next few months from now until March. An opportunity to travel overseas may come up. Meetings with foreign people are going to be incredibly fortunate for you over the next few months. You may be dealing with people from foreign countries at this time, or someone who is culturally different from you and benefiting from this relationship, from this friendship or contact. So this is what's coming up for you over the next few months, and where you are going to feel, or where you're going to be blessed. So publishing, higher education, so a degree, a diploma is proving to be a wise thing for you right now. Good thing that you did this diploma or degree. You're going to suddenly realize that over the coming months. And Saturn is blessing you with the discipline to achieve whatever goal it is that you want to achieve that's 9th house related. So if you are going back to university or taking a degree or diploma, or if you're taking a course, maybe if you're going to entering ashram, because the 9th house is also about spirituality and our beliefs. It's actually more about religion, but rituals, religion, beliefs. So if you are entering some sort of spiritual retreat or spiritual training, this is going to be profoundly good for you. The same with travel overseas, not local travel, but overseas travel is going to be enlightening and beneficial. And also publishing deals are highly blessed and just meant to be at this time. This is destiny at work here. Okay, Cancer, Sun and Rising, if this resonated with you, do leave a comment below. Leo, Sun and Rising. So Jupiter is cruising through your 12th house of secrets and shadow work and hidden resources, the unconscious mind, but also with karma and ancestral ties, deep lineage, long lineage right to the beginning of time. That's the 12th house. And he is connecting in a trine, in a harmonious trine to Saturn in your 8th house. So Leo, there is a lot of karmic reward going on here at this time. You may have inherited money. You may have received money from somewhere unexpectedly at this time, or you may have applied for a mortgage or a loan and you've acquired this. You may have entered into some sort of partnership, and that partnership is paying up now. You're earning well. This partnership is generating money for you, and you're benefiting from this partnership. But at the same time, this is a very psychological transit. So while Jupiter is retrograde from now until the 2nd of March 2026, you will do well, Leo, Sun and Rising, to seek out therapeutic help. So counseling, therapy, any of that, very, very beneficial for you, very rewarding ultimately. I highly encourage you to do that, especially if you have any issues with addiction. This is going to be a very good time to address all those issues. And of course, the 8th house is to do with death, sex, taxes. So death, it could be related to grief and loss. So if you've lost someone, if you've been grieving, therapy, counseling will definitely be most useful, most beneficial for you at this time. Okay, Leo, Sun and Rising, let me know if that resonated with you. Moving on, Virgo, Sun and Rising. So Jupiter is cruising through your 11th house and retrograde through your 11th house from now until the 2nd of March 2026, and trine Sagittarius in Pisces, which tells us that you are possibly over the next few months from now until the 2nd of March 2026, considering marriage or committing to some business partnership or marriage, a romantic partnership. And if you do so, it will certainly be a very good time to do so. Blessings showering down upon this partnership, this marriage, if you do so. However, it may have something to do with whatever was happening in your life around August of this year, because Jupiter is going to retrograde all the way to 15 degrees of Cancer. Is going to station at 15 degrees of Cancer on the 2nd of March 2026. So think back to August of this year and what was going on in your life, because whatever this commitment is that you're going to make is somehow tied in with whatever was going on in that time. The 7th, by the way, the 7th house where we find Saturn here is also about contracts. So if you're not getting married, if you're not getting into business partnership, it may be something to do with a contract, and it has something to do with the public because Jupiter is cruising through the 11th house. But also Cancer, it means that it might also relate to a family member. So you may sign a contract for a family member, a child perhaps, or you may be in some sort of partnership with a family member. All right. Okay, so Virgo, Sun and Rising, do let me know if that resonated with you, and do leave a comment and subscribe and like. Okay, so Libra, Sun and Rising, Jupiter is cruising through your 10th house of career and trine Saturn in your 6th house of, health and job, your daily routine. So needless to say, you are definitely, your vision is aligning with your reality. You are manifesting everything you want to manifest on the work front. Your career is it's all lining up for you. Everything is coming together for you. You are feeling most blessed and proactive at work at this time, or certainly you are aware of the results of your hard work at this time. So Libra, you are doing exceptionally well there. When it comes to health, if you have any health issues at this time, it could relate to your feet. I think I've mentioned this before several times. It could be relating to your feet. You may have feet issues, but don't worry about that, because you are going to find the solution to this over the next few months. I mean, you should worry about it, certainly, but you're going to find the solution. I don't want you stressing too much about it. You will find the solution to your problem, because Saturn is going to give you the discipline to follow some sort of health routine from now until the 2nd of March 2026, which is when Jupiter ends his transit, his retrograde transit around 2nd of March 2026. Okay, Libra, do let me know if that resonated with you. Okay, Scorpio, Sun and Rising. I just need some tea here. Okay, so Scorpio, you have Jupiter cruising through your 9th house. Trine is going to retrograde through your 9th house. So it's going to move backwards. It's going to keep asking that question. How much capacity do you actually have? How much more can you take, right? And is cruising back through the same area of the sky in Cancer where he was cruising through in August and September. So you want to think back to what was going on in your life in August, especially because he stops at 15 degrees of Cancer on the 2nd of March 2026. So think back to what was going on there, because that area is going to be revisited. And your 5th house has to do with love and romance and sex and, well, not sex, but romance, lovers, and children, and creative projects. So if there was something going on with the child around August, that is going to be revisited. If you had, a lover, you broke up with a lover, say in August, that lover may come back into your life. You may reconnect over this time. And certainly if you are reconnecting, the issue has something to do with discipline or the lack thereof. Discipline, and because of Saturn's close conjunction there with Neptune in your 5th house, it may have something to do with addictions being the issue, whatever the issue was with your ex-lover, addictions, sobriety, something to do with that. Or perhaps you just felt that your lover was a daydreamer and not very practical. And so those issues may come up if this ex-lover comes back into your life. Jupiter's retrograde now, station's retrograde at the same time that Mercury is retrograde. So the chances of an ex-lover coming back into your life are pretty high. Now, Jupiter's also cruising through your 9th house of foreign travel. So I am pretty sure that from now until March 2nd, 2026, you're going to be traveling overseas. Or certainly the opportunity to travel overseas comes up, and you would do well to do so. Again, be very cautious around things to do with addiction. You want to practice discipline. If you have children, like I say, some issue with around a child may need to be revisited then. Okay, so Scorpio, Sun and Rising, do leave a comment if this resonated with you. Okay, moving on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Sun and Rising. Jupiter is cruising through your 8th house and trine Saturn in your 4th house of home and family. So 8th house has to do with, shared resources. So you may have a mortgage, you may have applied for a loan, money's coming in from somewhere else right now. Maybe you inherited money, maybe money that has been due to you, someone's paid you back. But anyway, money is certainly coming in. You do want to think back to what was going on in your life in August of this year, because Jupiter is going to station, when he stations in March the 2nd, 2026, is going to station at 15 degrees. And so that was around the same time, 15 degrees of Cancer. Jupiter was there in August of this year. So think back to August, what was going on in your life there. So Jupiter is going to bring back whatever that subject, something to do with 8th house matters, shared resources, karmic rewards, sex, death, taxes. And because Saturn is trine here in the home, it may be that you are now finally buying a home or moving into a new apartment or sharing space with someone. And it's a possibility that the person that moves into your space with you, if you are a homeowner or you're staying in a place with enough room, it could be that you are sharing space with an older person. Now a parent may come live with you, or you may return home. You may go back to your parents' home at this time. If not, it could be that someone that moves into your home is more mature, or someone who's very disciplined and hardworking. Someone possibly who is an Aquarius or a Capricorn, Saturn ruled. Okay, so let me know if this resonates with you in the comments, Sagittarius, Sun and Rising. Capricorn, Sun and Rising. Jupiter is cruising through your 7th house of commitments, and so professional and romantic commitments and contracts, and your reflection, what you see, projection, how you are, what your projections are out there. And trine Saturn in the 3rd house of communication. This is going to be interesting for you. You are certainly realizing, manifesting a vision, a long-term vision of commitment. So it could be that you are considering marriage over, think back to what was going on in August of this year. You may have proposed to someone at this time and now you're busy planning your wedding, for example. But it could be that you are thinking about going into a contract with another person. You are expanding on the business front, Capricorn. And this would be a good time to do this while Jupiter is cruising, going back, retracing his steps there in Cancer. And Pisces, Saturn in Pisces here in your 3rd house. There's, blessings come to you, Capricorn, if you learn to speak with greater empathy. And if you apply empathy and understanding when dealing with other people at this time, blessings flow through you. And I feel that this is a lesson you've been learning this year. So do let me know, Capricorn, in the comments if this resonates with you. Aquarius, Sun and Rising. So Jupiter is cruising through your 6th house of health and daily routines and job, and trine Saturn in your 2nd house. So this is all about money flowing in. If you feel stalled, if you are self-employed and you feel like money has stalled and money has not been flowing, Jupiter is now going to go revisit the area, go back, retracing his steps here in Cancer, and, money is going to start flowing in here. Certainly, Saturn is giving you the discipline here, this trine with Saturn. You are being very disciplined and you're putting in the work necessary to attract more customers and more work to yourself. So that's going to work out for you. And there's rewards. So if you're not self-employed, if you are working for someone else, money is coming in some form, perhaps commission or bonus. But again, it might not come overnight. You have from now until 2nd of March to see money coming in. I would also say that Jupiter trine Saturn here is certainly teaching you, because we're both teachers here, to be wiser with your money, with your investments, how you're using your money, how you're using your salary, where you're putting your money, savings, all of that's coming up. And Saturn and Jupiter are working in your favor, wanting to bless you in that area. So do let me know in the comments if this is resonating with you. And also rewarding you with all the effort and the work you've been putting in growing in self-belief and self-assurance. Aquarius, you're doing great work. Continue with that work. Okay. And yeah, if you are in a position to employ people, if you are a boss, you are possibly going to you're going to employ people from now until the 2nd of March. Okay, Aquarius. Let's move on to Pisces, Sun and Rising. So Pisces, Sun and Rising, Jupiter is in your 5th house and trine Saturn in your 1st house. So this is just beautiful energy, Pisces. If you have been looking for love, you are going to find love. You've got from now until the 2nd of March 2026 to get out there, show up, be more social. Any issues you've had to do with love, you've been addressing them, or you're certainly working on becoming more loving, right? Becoming more loving in order to receive love. You cannot attract what you do not already hold within you. So you cannot attract the love you want if you do not have the capacity for love. Remember, as I said in the start of this video, Jupiter is all about the capacity. Are you open for more experiences, more loving experiences, more beauty, more joy? If you're not open to this, if you do not have the capacity for it, you cannot bring it in, you cannot pour it out. So you have to be able to be that cup, right? You have to be like a cup. You have to be able to receive, but you also have to be able to give. Okay. And so Jupiter, trine, Saturn are helping you achieve this goal of becoming more loving in how you project yourself, but also how you experience yourself. Experience yourself as loving, as desirable, as creative, because this is not only about love and lovers, it's also about creativity. Pisces, Jupiter is cruising through the 5th house of creativity. So if you've had doubts about your creative ability as well, Jupiter is giving you now this time from now until March the 2nd to revisit any blocks that you've had regarding your creative abilities. And Saturn is saying, you have what it takes. You are a creator. You are a creator. We are all creators. The creator lives through you, exists through you. The great spirit lives through you. You have what it takes to express yourself creatively. So that may be coming up. What else could be going on here? Children, if you want children, you may be having children. A child may be born from now until the 2nd of March, or you may learn that a child has a child, so you may suddenly become a grandparent. All right, so Pisces, do let me know in the comments if this resonated with you. Thank you, people. Thank you for staying until the end. Thank you for watching, and do remember to like and subscribe.